Now on Denver 7 News at 4. Time is up for the Adams 14 School District.
We've lost way too much instruction over the years to put this off for another year.
The latest vote after a harsh review of the district's performance and where they might stand by the start of summer.
Helping college students manage their mental health. The new app identifying struggles and finding solutions. And a growing trend is helping older Americans afford housing. How new services are making home sharing easier by matching seniors with roommates.
Plus, getting back to basics, the new project in town making efforts to change policies for the unhoused community.
Thank you for joining us at 4. I'm Jessica Porter. We're still in a weather action day. The Denver 7 storm truck was out capturing the snow-covered mountains today. Luckily, the roads weren't too bad out there. But if you are walking outside today, you'll notice there is plenty of slush along the sidewalks and streets, so be sure to watch your step. Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson joining us now. Hey Mike, Denver had a light snowfall compared to others. Some areas saw a lot more snow.
Indeed they did. As a matter of fact, the winter up in Genesee at about 15 inches. Ponderosa Park, though, which is northwestern Elbert County, had a foot. Parker about 10.5, although it's settling. That's my house, 8.5 at Southeast Aurora. Lone Tree had 8. Here at our studios we had 5, and at DIA a respectable 7.2. Now the sun is trying to break through a little bit, and you see the roads are clear, but they're wet. And tonight, as temperatures fall below freezing, that's where we're going to see some trouble out there because the streets and sidewalks will ice back up. All of the advisories have been dropped for the Denver area. There still is a winter weather advisory out toward Burlington. Hays, Kansas, that is a blizzard warning out that way. A pretty strong storm for sure. And there's still lingering snow showers off to the west of us at the moment. Up to the north, a little bit of activity as well, and possibly mixed with a little bit of rain up toward Greeley. This is the view live at Boulder on the Pearl Street Mall. Just a few snow flurries are fluttering down, and our weather headlines go like this. Flurries ending, but cold tonight. Slick streets and sidewalks expected. Warmer for the weekend, but check out that last line. More snow coming on Monday. I'll have details in just a bit.
Thank you, Mike. And as the weather continues to rise and dip, there are more community efforts to make sure the unhoused community has the resources they need. Here's Denver 7's Micah Smith.
There's nothing like a snowy day like this one to help a community start thinking about unhoused neighbors. Well, today is the launch of a very special and new project called the Basic Project. The aim of this project is for community leaders to come together and organizations in order to get back to the basics. That means community outreach, going door to door and sometimes tent to tent to ask people directly what policies are working for them and what policies have failed them. We talked to the lead organizer of the Basic Project, Gerald Hamill, and we asked him what he hopes to get out of the launch of this new project.
The Basic Project today is bridging people. It's community. It's getting out, listening to people, not coming with an agenda.
Coming up tonight at 6, you'll hear more from Gerald Hamill and the plans for the Basic Project. And you'll also hear from one man who says he too was in part of an invisible population. Reporting in Denver, Micah Smith, Denver 7.
President Biden and Chinese President Xi Jinping will meet tomorrow to talk about Russia's war against Ukraine. The U.S. is warning China about consequences it would face if it provides assistance to Russia. The White House press secretary says that leaders will also be talking about managing the competition between the U.S. and China. WNBA star Brittany Griner will be forced to stay in Russia even longer. Today, a Moscow court announced it extended her arrest until May 19th. This is according to Russia's state news agency. Griner has been detained for weeks after Russian officials say that they found vape cartridges containing oil derived from cannabis in her luggage. In Russia, the charge could mean up to 10 years in prison.
The Colorado State Board of Education has denied a request from Adams 14 School District to delay a decision over the district's future. The vote comes after a report released earlier this week that recommended the closure of Adams City High School and a complete reorganization of the district. According to the report, a culture of fear and retaliation within the district has limited improvement for students for many years, and drastic changes needed. The district is working on a proposal to the board to improve. It has asked for more time to craft that proposal, but several board members today said the district has had more than enough time already.
We still have no plan of how we're moving these kids forward. And In my heart of hearts, I feel like we have let these students down, and teachers, quite frankly.
Denver 7 spoke to representatives of Adams 14 this week after this report was released, and they told us the report is one-sided and that more blame should be pointed at the external management firm that had been leading the district until February of this year. Happening today at the state capitol, a bill to create universal preschool will get its first committee hearing. The legislation creates a Department of Early Childhood Education to oversee the program. Colorado families would get 10 free hours of preschool per week under the proposal. Now, the governor spoke about the program a few days ago, saying it would save families $4,000 a year.
We're creating a one-stop shop for families to help navigate early childhood needs and find the childcare, preschool that they need for their success and their kids' success.
The state hopes to have the first year of enrollment be the 2023-2024 school year. Coloradans voted to fund a universal preschool in 2020.
We are getting a new picture of the violence, threats, and harassment happening to teachers and school staff. A third of them report that they have experienced these issues during the pandemic, according to a new survey from the American Psychological Association. The survey found that the violence may be increasing reports of high stress, transfers, and educators looking to leave the profession. And many of the men and women who lead our country's school districts are among those considering leaving. Almost half of all U.S. superintendents say that they may leave their current job within 3 years. Now, most are planning to retire or just leave the profession.
It's a consideration, frankly, in terms of how this is going to affect school systems with the loss of so many experienced, talented, capable school system leaders being replaced, in essence, by individuals who certainly want to do the job and want to do it well, but they don't have the experience.
Longtime educators point to pandemic-related stress and politics. 80% of superintendents say that managing politically divisive conversations is the most challenging aspect of the job.
A superintendent's job is a political job. And so you are the person who often takes the brunt of the community's dissatisfaction with the way that schooling is going. And lots of people are dissatisfied because it's really hard at the moment, right? And so I think it's not surprising that we would see that people in these top level district leadership positions are going to get to the point where they've had enough.
Now, many superintendents are working to build positive reputations in their community. They're also working to help with the mental health of their students and looking to see how new technology can help their schools and find ways for students to explore career options that don't require a college degree.
The education vehicles or channels to get you prepared for a great job, to help you start making money right away and start building your career right away instead of going to a four-year school, are bigger than ever, greater than ever, broader than ever.
Now, there is a silver lining from this survey. There's 2 out of 3 superintendents believing that they will feel better about the job at this time next year. The pandemic has impacted the number of colleges and universities that are Hispanic serving institutions. This is a designation that provides schools with additional access to money to improve enrollment and graduation rates among Hispanic students. The number of schools with this designation has decreased for the first time in 20 years. According to a Latino higher education research group, the group says the reasons are enrollment declines, school closings, and consolidation. Well, warmer weather and more carbon dioxide in the air, just the perfect recipe for pollen. How much worse scientists say allergy season could get if climate change continues at the same pace.
And when the pandemic hit, so much of our lives moved online, which made everyday activities difficult for those with impaired hearing. After the break, we'll introduce you to the Coloradan who helped create the first complete sign language Bible.